All right, guys, ready to use AI to make your life even better? For example, we know that you professionals out there may have to make a PowerPoint presentation from time to time. How laborious is that? We also know that a good number of you find this task tedious, especially when you have to spend long hours just to pull it off before your deadline, and it still ends up looking shoddy. Imagine that. Well, today you guys are in luck because we will show you exactly how to make the perfect PowerPoint presentation with the help of AI, that too for free. Google Slides. To make that perfect PowerPoint presentation, we just have to turn you to this tool known as Google Slides. One of the reasons that we just have to recommend this tool to you guys is that it comes with this plugin that will help you make any presentation from scratch. Well, sure, it depends on the topic and how many slides you need to complete this presentation, but rest assured that this tool will help you get the job done. Indeed, this limitation may cause some worry, but the user can be sure that this tool will get them through the process because it is powered by AI. Add the fact that it will be able to do so with fascinating speed, and that it will do so entirely for free, and you may find that Google Slides may just be the perfect PowerPoint presentation generation tool for you. To make this tool work in your favor, all the user has to do is to make use of the tool known as Magic Slides. To do so, the user will make their way to magicslides.app. This will get the user on their way because this will lead them to Google Workspace Marketplace, which is linked to the app once the user signs up for it. Once the user is done installing the plugin and enabling the AI capabilities that it comes with, they will be able to start their presentation once they open Google Slides. This allows them to work on the blank canvas or presentation, if you will, with the AI in front of them. Following this, the next step for the user is to go to an extension where they can get hold of the Magic Slides app, GPT. This will help the user create or generate all the content the user needs to bring their presentation to life. Once the GPT extension is open, the user can enter the prompt as well as the topic of your presentation. Let's say that the topic of your presentation is the impact of climate change on biodiversity. When you make use of the prompt, you'd find that the prompt will include some information such as a total of 7 slides and a space for request for additional information, the ability to highlight the websites where the AI got all its information from in order to create the aforementioned PowerPoint presentation, as well as the ability to insert images into the slideshow. Once the user is happy with all the information that they have asked for, they can click on the Generate button. This will allow the user to set their eyes on what sort of presentation that the AI will come up with following all the information they have gathered. The user may be happy to find that the process is so fast that it can create the presentation in less than a minute. This is amazing because this delivers on the promise that we mentioned earlier on, that is, now you won't need to spend countless hours not only carrying out the research you'd need to find the information required to put the presentation together, but also the act of actually putting the presentation together as a whole. One thing that we can boast about is that, as you can see, the final product is great. Not only is the presentation simple, it is also accurate with the content that is used to make the presentation. Sure, the user may need a minute or two to make sure that it is exactly what they want, and they may need a few more minutes to correct any errors that they may spot in the presentation. Regardless of such loose ends, it is clear that Google Slides and Magic Slides help create a detailed and amazing-looking presentation for the user in a minute or less. Pretty great, right? ChatGPT with Microsoft PowerPoint. As great as Google Slides and Magic Slides may be, some may say that it is not as great as our other tool. This may especially be the case for those who may want to make use of the options that are out there. Without further ado, take a look at Microsoft PowerPoint. Sure, it may be a stalwart of the PowerPoint game, but rest assured, it is still capable of being a game changer when it comes to the creation of PowerPoint presentations. The process begins when the user installs OneDrive onto their computer. That way they can store their data. It also allows the user to convert whatever they want into a PowerPoint presentation. Once this is done, the user can then move on with the process by exporting it into a PowerPoint presentation. They do this by clicking on the Open the File option on the window, then clicking on the Export option. Once this is done, click on the Export to PowerPoint Presentation button. This gives the user access to the designs that are generated by AI. The user can select the one that they feel would give their presentation the professional look they desire. Once you are done picking the aesthetic design of your presentation, you can push on with it by filling in the words needed to give it some more details. This may prove to be the longest part of the presentation, especially as research and actually arranging and typing out the words of the presentation is involved in this stage. Putting these words together in a way that will make your presentation perfect could be a challenge, so we can see how people may need some help when it comes to this stage. Fortunately, we can either make use of the words that we adopted following our research, or we can create the content needed for our presentation by making use of ChatGPT. That's right, ChatGPT is here to help. Once the user is able to get their information from what is considered to be the mother of all AI apps, you can add it to a Word document so that it can go on to be rearranged and reformatted in PowerPoint form. We can do this by clicking on the Export Presentation button. Once the user is happy with the format that they have come up with, they can click on the Export button. Before you know it, the user will have the perfect presentation right in front of you. You don't have to take our word for it, just take a look at this beauty. Looking at it, you can see how this is an amazing tool for both students and pros who are doing all they can to get the job done. This is especially the case for those who are looking for ways to turn their Word documents to PowerPoint presentations. We must keep in mind that while this is a great tool, there may be cases where the user may not be too happy with the final results. Thankfully, this is not as difficult a problem as they will have the option to change anything they may want to. One of the ways they could do this is by going to the right side of their screen where they can see other AI-generated designs and templates. If the user feels that such designs may be better for their presentation, all they have to do is click on one of the designs to carry out the replacement. If these AI templates aren't good enough for you, the user can select one of the old-school templates that can be found on the app. You can even change the text by going from slide to slide to implement these changes. As you can tell, this is much easier to do and way less time-consuming than ever before. Now that the user won't have to create the presentation from scratch, you can actually be ahead of all your competitors in the field. What do you guys think about these tools? Please let us know in the comments section. Until next time, stay professional.